Hello, welcome back to my channel, Make with Care. My name is Care. I'm a maker, primarily knitter, located outside of Philadelphia, and this is my channel where I talk about all things knitting. Today I've got a super exciting video for you. This is all about my flock fiber experience this year. I've got a few videos I took on the day, and I'll be talking you through what my plans were, what I got, and what I intend to do with it. As well as just some general info about flock fiber. So if that sounds fun, then grab your project, something to drink, and let's get into it. So if you're not familiar with Flock Fiber Festival, I know a lot of people have been posting about it, but it's a fiber festival in Seattle, Washington. It's usually in August, I think, every year. And I believe it's put on by Jess of La Mercerie. It's located in the Seattle Convention Center in like the Summit building. I'm not really sure if there are other buildings, but that's the building it's in. And this year it took place in the first weekend of August, I think also the last day of July. And I tend to go out to Washington, the Seattle area in August anyways. I have a lot of family out there that I go to visit. And so I always try to, the last couple of years, I've tried to combine visiting with going to the Flock Fiber Festival. So this year I went on the Sunday. Last year I went just on Saturday, and neither year I've gotten to go for very long. I've not gotten to take any classes or anything like that, but I'm hoping to maybe do that next year. I'm hoping to maybe get to enjoy more of the Flock Fiber Festival next year, but I still had a really great time. Now I'm back in near Philly in South Jersey and back home with all my goodies. But I have a few videos the day of, so I'll start with a video I took at my dad's house before heading to Flock. Good morning. Happy Flock Day. It is almost 8 o'clock in the morning, and in order to go to Flock, we have to head over to the ferry. Here's what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing my Ravenna sleeveless little button down moment. It is quite cold, so I decided to put on this t-shirt, and then I've got like a flowy white skirt. I'm super excited for Flock. It is Sunday, so I'm hoping that there's stuff left. Like last year I went on Saturday. I've never been on Sunday before, so I'm not sure like what it's gonna be like or how much availability there's gonna be, but I'm really excited, and hopefully I can find some yarn for a couple projects I have in mind. I'll do a haul at the end of the video. So, but yeah, it's a lovely, cool morning here in Washington State, and I'm getting ready to head to Flock. So come along with me. My plans were pretty simple. Some natural yarn from the area, potentially a sweater quantity of red wool, and then some DK weight sock or single skein sort of projects. And in order to get to Flock, from where my family lives, I need to take a ferry, or we could also drive like an hour and a half, but we drove to Bremerton and took the Bremerton to Seattle ferry, which was super fun. And if you've not taken a ferry in the Seattle area when you go, I really recommend you do. It's really great on a nice day. This day was a little bit chilly in the morning, so I had on my Ravenna sleeveless, which is the top I made and wore to Flock. And over that, I just wore like a little windbreaker from, I think, Patagonia. Speaking of wearing, I forgot to mention real briefly what I'm wearing. This is my newly finished Elderflower top by Sunshine Stitching Studios. I knit this in Holst Garn Coast in the color Cobalt. And I will be covering more of this top in my video next week, which is my knitting podcast. So I have a lot of things to say about this, but that is what I'm wearing today if you're curious. I forgot to mention it. But yeah, so here's a little clip of the ferry journey over to Seattle. super pretty. The mountain unfortunately wasn't out, but it was a really cool, cloudy, big like rain looking cloud over Seattle. Luckily we only got rained on like a little bit throughout the whole day as we walked up there. I did go with my boyfriend and my stepmom. We all went to Flock Fiber. My boyfriend gladly agreed to be, as he puts it, the mule and carry all my stuff, but he's, you know, happy to look around and keep me company on events like this. So yeah, after we got off the ferry, I think it's around a mile or so walk, maybe not quite that far, up to the convention center. And if you've never been to Seattle, the ferry is down along the water, and then Seattle has a pretty good grade, so it's a lot of uphill walking. I have pictures of me and my brother when we were kids walking up Seattle, and it's just, we're just like dying because it's quite a steep hill, even though like in the early 20th century, they actually made it less steep and extended the waterfront. So if you've been to Seattle and you thought it was steep, it used to be steeper. There's some really interesting historical pictures where they basically, like, houses didn't want to agree and they kind of just dug the dirt out around them to help grade it. Some interesting Seattle history. But anyways, yeah, so we walked to a bus and got on a bus that basically took us all the way to the convention center. And then we made our way into Flock Fiber. Now, Flock is really, really cool. It's in this beautiful convention center. The convention center is beautiful and quite big. I was really excited this day that there wasn't a super big line. We got there pretty close to when they opened on Sunday morning, and we were able to get in line really quickly, get our wristbands, and get upstairs. Compared to Saturday, the crowd on a Sunday morning is a lot less. Last year when I went on Saturday, it was a lot busier and more crowded. The cons of that is there were some things that were very low stock, like not enough of, you know, certain quantities, or there were things where, you know, certain booths looked a little bit sparser. There were things that were like more limited edition that weren't available. But that's, you know, the trade-off that you do for going on a Sunday. There were so many beautiful stalls. It's quite overwhelming. I've never been to Rhinebeck, New York Sheep and Wool, which I think is like the biggest, but this one is really big, I think. And I find it like overwhelming how many beautiful things there are and how much, it's overwhelming how many pretty things there are and how many things that I want to touch and look at. And I literally could spend the whole marketplace that they're open time looking at things, but I only had a few hours, so we made our way around and I tried to look at least a little bit at every single booth. And frankly, like I could have bought stuff from everyone, but I was trying to be good because I already have, you know, a decent amount of yarn, and I was looking for yarn for some specific projects and trying not to just buy sweater quantities or a lot of random like sock skeins, because I have a lot of fingering weight sock yarn in my stash, and I don't tend to knit it out that quickly. Yeah, so here's some clips of what, you know, some of the booths look like in me shopping. I did also run into a few people and got to say hi to some people, so that was really cool. I learned I'm really bad at taking pictures and videos, but I try to at least get a few. So yeah, if I said hi to you, hi again. If I missed you and you were there, tell me, and then, you know, maybe next time I would love to try and see more people. I know a lot of the meetups and things were on Saturday, so unfortunately I did miss those. So I'm hoping next year to be able to go to both days. That would be like the dream. After flock, we went and had some really good Indian food nearby, right near the convention center. And then we walked downhill, got some really delicious drinks from Monorail Espresso, and then took the ferry back. So in all, it was a great day. And now let's get into the haul. The good stuff, probably why you're here, you know. So it's all in this bag, which is the first thing I want to talk about. This is from Spin Cycle. They had this really cool print. They had this on like t-shirts and scarves and the bag, and you did actually get this bag free if you bought, I think, $250 worth of yarn from them. I think otherwise it was $20, so I just went ahead and bought the tote bag because I couldn't they didn't have like a red that I wanted, and by the time I got to Spin Cycle's booth, I had already checked off the other items on my list. So I do love Spin Cycle, and I think it's so cool, and there's so many cool things to make, but nothing like I thought I would make immediately. So I just went ahead and got this super cute bag. It's really nice quality as well, and I love a tote. So that is my first purchase. I'll go from single skeins to bigger quantities. So my first single skein I have is from Botanical Yarn. And this is what it looks like. This is their DK Merino sock. It's a 75% merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 225 meters. And Botanical Yarns is hand dyed in the Yorkshire Wolds, UK, ethically sourced, muslin free, and then hand wash. I absolutely just love this color, and I thought that this would make a super fun DK weight sock, maybe like a lacy sort of sock. This also can be a really fun hat because it is like plain and bright pink. So I'm either gonna do like a hat or DK weight socks. I love DK weight socks for winter, and I really only have one pair. So I definitely want to make myself another pair this winter. So this may be the yarn that I do it with. I also love DK weight socks for gifting. I don't mind knitting fingering weight socks, but I find that DK weight socks are just a little bit quicker, more fun to knit for me personally. And I think a lot of people, when they receive hand knit socks as gifts, are kind of afraid to ruin them. So they tend to like wear them in the house anyways, and DK weight socks are just really good for that. So anyways, that's my first purchase. Sticking to a theme, my second is from Super Glow Fibers. Super Fiber. Such fun packaging. This is Neo DK in prototype pink one, and it's 85% superwash merino plus 15% neon Donegal nep. It's 231 yards for 100 grams, and it's just such a fun color. Again, very similar color, a little bit cooler though. I don't know if you can see, but it's a little bit like of a, maybe a little bit bluer in tone. It's got the fun tweedy bits. So this also, this will probably be the hat, and then this will probably be the socks because this has nylon in it and this does not. And I think, you know, nylon for socks probably good. I mean, you know, people have their thoughts on that, but yeah. So I'll probably make a little hat with that. I thought it was like so fun. Hopefully it suits me. I don't really know, but I just thought it was super cool. And then also from Super Glow Fibers, I got a Super DK, which is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. It's the Glowing Aura Clubs 2026. This is the Halo Halo Klein. I don't know. Love this color. It's just a beautiful blue-green. You can really see it there. I probably will make socks with this. This is I use super glue fibers to make my existing pair of DK weight socks that I wear all the time. And I think it'd be super fun to have a pair in this color. I also just really love this color. I think it's super beautiful. So I'll definitely use it for something, but it will probably end up as DK weight socks. If I really get crazy, maybe I'll make it into a hat. I don't know. Again, it's 246 yards. Okay, now moving into my one purchase that I made that wasn't strictly in the plans, okay? I veered a little bit off course. But can you blame me? Like, truly, can you blame me? Look at how pretty this color is. This is from Ritual Dyes. This is their Marona, which is a 3-ply DK. It is US grown and milled, 100% Cormo wool, 250 yards, 100 grams. And this is in the color Peridot. And I love this color. It's so squishy and like just stunning. So I have 750 yards total, which definitely is enough for a vest. I probably will make this into a vest. If I get around to making it soon, it could be like, I could wear it just as a top in kind of fall and then under a shirt as it gets colder. I think it's like really non-scratchy. Like it feels like 0% itchy. I wouldn't say it's like unbelievably soft feeling it, but it feels like really bouncy, very not scratchy. Like it is very smooth. And I feel like it's like got a good twist on it. I don't know how to describe yarn very well, clearly. But they also put on a festival called Secret Cheap that I'm like, oh, if I was out there, then I would go to it, but I live quite far away, so maybe another year. But yeah, I'm really obsessed with this. I'm thinking like a stockinette, like just crew neck pullover, like vest kind of situation. I also saw that some people can make quite cropped, looser gauge like sweaters with this amount of quantity, but I think like a vest would be really good. So I was considering Knit Pearl Girl has I think it's Semper slipover perhaps, or the Novice slipover or something along those lines. There's also it might be the Mochi slipover, but I'm not a huge Twisted Rib fan personally. So yeah, I'm thinking this would be really cool for just a cool like vest top slipover kind of vibe for fall. I also think this is a fun spring color. So yeah, love this, how this wool feels. These were $32 a piece, which, you know, I think you're paying for the US grown milled Cormo wool and you're paying for like, you know, a smaller business. But I do think it feels really, really lovely. So there's that. Okay. The last thing I'm very excited about is what I was talking about for a locally made, locally raised sheep, locally sheared, you know, milled, all that stuff. Yarn was my goal to make a sweater. And I'm happy to say that I got some. So I have 6 skeins of this. This is the Skagit Woolen Works Island Twist. This is 100% Puget Sound wool with a hint of alpaca for lush, cozy fabric. Hand-selected, processed, and spun in the Skagit Valley, milled by wool lovers for wool lovers. And this is a 3-ply DK, 100 grams, 240 yards, a Romney alpaca, 75% Romney, 25% alpaca, in the color chocolate, and these were each $30. Got a little tweety bit. And I can see some vegetable matter in them, which is so cool. I love the drape on this. So you can tell it's got that alpaca. I'm an alpaca enjoyer. but I think like a 75-25 is probably a really nice blend that will make a warm sweater, but it will still have good structure from the wool. I've made 100% alpaca sweater as well, an alpaca sweater with mohair, and it is very, very drapey, very warm though, which I actually love. But I do think that the wool plus alpaca is like gonna be really a lovely combo. I love the color of it. It's just like a beautiful brown. I love a brown. I made another colorwork sweater in brown last fall, which was the rosy sweater, but that was tin purgant, so like a dyed brown. This I think is a natural color. I don't think it's dyed. I'm not sure, but it seems like it's got some natural like variation, I think, in it. So yeah, I have 6 skeins of this, which would be 1440 yards, which I think is plenty. And I'm going to hold it with, for the color work itself, this is from Wild Rose Yarns. Here's this beautiful skein. You can see also it's got some good drape to it, so I thought it would go well with the little bit of alpaca. This is also a 3-ply DK. It has sport and DK checked, but actually like looking at it, I think it might even be like slightly, it's close. It's very, very close to this one. It's 100 grams, 250 yards, mill spun. And this is from the Sheep Maxine, and it was $36. So this is from a farm on Whidbey Island, also local. And this feels more sheepy. It doesn't have the alpaca, so it does feel, it's pretty soft, but it does feel like more rustic, I think I would say. It's not like prickly, like, you know, there's no like prickles or like the long hairs that you sometimes get, but it feels very, I don't know, it feels very natural. It feels very, very nice. This is 100% Wensleydale. So that's what this yarn is. I'm not really sure the characteristic of Wensleydale. I didn't do a ton of research. I was just looking for a 3-ply DK, and local was ideal. And so the people at Wool & Work said that this was a good stall to check out and that they think they had a 3-ply DK that would work well. So I'm hoping that this works well together. Let me see if I can hold up like a strand of each so you guys can see. I don't know that you can see super well, but I do think they're like close enough perhaps that they'll work together. And this will be the motif in this color. And I think the colors will look great together as well. So I'm really, really excited about this. This, spoiler alert, this is going to be the, I don't know if I'm saying this right. Please tell me if I'm not. The Sougrides pullover by, is it Chelsea Martin Art? I could be wrong. If it's not, it'll be on the screen. But yeah, I'm really excited. I think I'm gonna make the bear pattern. And on this trip, I went to Mount Rainier, which I love to go to. We try to go to every year a few times. And I saw 2 bears. So I'm going to make the bear motif, which I saw a bear on this trip, and this yarn is local to the Puget Sound area. And then I saw a bear there. So I think it just all goes nice together. Very excited for this. This will get done, I think. I think I'll probably cast this on in the fall, hopefully pretty soon, because I'm really excited about it. But I do have some other projects on the needles, which I will talk about in my podcast next week. So, but yeah, hopefully I'll get to this soon. And then last and probably least exciting, I don't know, it depends on your perspective, I got a lot of buttons. So I love buttons, and these are all vintage buttons. I don't remember what the stall was called, but there was like a button stall there that had a bunch of vintage buttons. I think they were all vintage. And I kind of, oh, it's called Textile Division. And I kind of went a little crazy as I do for buttons. I'll just quickly show y'all the buttons I got. First up is these. These were $9. These are really cool. These are like a navy swirl, and then they have like the little stem thing. So these are like really cool. I don't know if you can see those very well. I apologize, the lighting is a little low. We had a thunderstorm in the middle of the day when I was gonna film. I got these red ones. These were $6. I got these, I think these are bone, vintage bone, $7. These are really cool vintage, or I think they're vintage metal. They were $8. Just some black. And then these I really, really like. These were $7. So I picked up a lot of buttons. I've been trying to just kind of grab buttons for my stash when I see them, because otherwise I fear that sometimes I just will buy buttons off of Amazon, and I'd rather buy some vintage buttons from a smaller business or from smaller people than just buy some plastic buttons on Amazon. So I do try to stock up a little bit on buttons. But yeah, that is everything I got at Flock Fiber Festival. I had such a great time. It really is a wonderful festival, and hopefully y'all enjoyed some of my little clips. I'm sorry I'm not very good at vlogging. Maybe I will get better in the future. But yeah, I had a great time, and I'm so excited to work with the beautiful yarn that I picked up. If you stuck around this far, thanks so much. Give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and I will see y'all very soon. Have a great day.